Hello everybody and welcome back to the PhlogistiCast. This time we are interviewing the class that, well, the one that's interesting but people often get it wrong. I'm your host Dekky, otherwise known as Tom, and my guest today is Thunder. Thunder, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, g'day. Believe it or not, I am really Australian.
He is. We have a really good streak of matching our guests' nationalities to the people they're talking about. Although with two Americans, that's not really hard.
Yeah, enjoy finding a Russian for the heavy, mate.
Yeah, I'll have a go. I know someone who's been to Russia.
Oh, so he'll pull an FPS Russia, eh? So he'll just have the accent on for doing the show.
Yeah. I do apologise for the first episode though. It was hard to find a German guy at such short notice, so we got a British girl in.
Yeah,
Never mind,
close enough.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so yes, this time we'll be looking at the sniper. We were going to do Demo Man, but you know, couldn't find one.
Well, believe it or not, apart from being black, I actually am Scottish, so I would fit in quite well.
Okay, anyway. So how this works, Thunder, is I'm going to ask you a few questions about the sniper, his weapons, his character, personality, and, you know, in-game stuff.
Yep, sure.
And can you just give a brief explanation of each thing as it comes up, for people who might not know that much about sniper, or, you know, need to know more about him, because let's face it, people get him wrong, am I right?
Unfortunately, yes they do, and for quite a while I was one of those people.
Well then, let's get on to the question that's been on everyone's lips since we did episode 1. Have you ever tried to shoot through glass in TF2?
Absolutely I have, first time playing. I thought, yeah, this is a good game. It seemed like that bullet came through steel, so I reckon there's going to be some bullet penetration. Lined up a beautiful headshot on a medic. And the glass stopped the bullet, and I was promptly killed by a rocket.
Yeah.
Not my finest hour.
And what about after that? Did you learn from your mistake pretty quickly?
Honestly, I'd like to say that I immediately picked up on what I did wrong, but I thought, oh yeah, must have been some lag, must have been some hitbox errors, and tried again. Several more times.
Is this an excuse, or did you actually think that?
No, really, I thought that at the time.
Alright.
I learned otherwise.
Okay, are there any other common mistakes that you made and that maybe you could explain for us? Because, you know, professional players that I talk to, they often wonder how people get it so badly wrong and make all these mistakes, but, you know, as a newer player, it seems to me like there are logical explanations and that people just need some practice.
Well, yeah, I'll say that practice is the number one thing you need if you're playing sniper. Because, honestly, it's one of the only classes where you can basically twitch, shoot, and kill a person. If you can snap in fast enough. Unless, of course, you're wearing the crocodile head, which makes you impervious to one headshot. Which, incidentally, if you use that, I hate you and everyone that looks like you. But as a sniper, one of the things I've found is you'll find more doing sniper wars than actually playing as a team, or being a team player, and that's not a particularly good thing. Yeah.
Does it annoy you when you log into a server and find that your team consists of, let's say, 3 spies, 2 scouts, a pyro maybe, and then the rest of them are all snipers, like 6 snipers or something? Does that annoy you, or do you think you could actually make something out of that team?
Well, depends what map I'm playing, depends what I'm there for. If I'm there to win, I'd obviously, I'd be going a different class, trying to motivate the team to, you know, not snipe war. But if I'm there to have fun, I'd probably check it out, see how many snipers are on the other team. Pardon me.
Probably
and if there are just as many or a few less, I would swap over to the other team and start picking people off. And for that reason, I named my sniper rifle the Rage Quitter instead, and put a description tag on it saying, "Go on, you know you want to." And incidentally, I also made myself stick out as much as possible by wearing gold boots, having a gold cigar thing which makes a smoke particle effect, and
That's cool.
well,
Deadly
yeah,
but cool.
very deadly, very standy outy. So the best thing was being given the insults. Man, I could, if children weren't watching, I could tell you some very interesting stories.
This is a Team Fortress 2 podcast. People blow up in the game all the time. But you can tell me these stories later.
Absolutely.
I might put them in an outtake video for a mature audience.
Yeah, mature. Absolutely, we'll get the mature players in here. Get them to listen to the trash talk that goes on in TF2.
Alright. Well, let's look at the sniper himself. So, we know he's Australian. We know he's kind of thin. He spent a lot of time in the outback, which to people outside Australia is a code word for desert.
Code word for desert, and where everything and everyone is trying to kill you. It's basically Mad Max out there. And if you haven't seen Mad Max, you need to see it.
Tip for everyone, not just new players.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, what else do we know about the sniper? Like, how do you like his character? Do you think he's well defined as a character? Like, if you met him in real life, would you believe him? Would you want to hang out with him or anything?
Well, to me, he seems like a commensurate professional. He's there to do a job. He gets paid to do it, and it's not really that personal. But he takes pride in his work.
He's
as
a
you know.
professional with standards.
Yeah, be polite, be efficient, have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Yes.
And that, believe it or not, that quote came from Mad Dog Mattis, a United States Marine general. Yeah. Well, would I hang out with him in real life? You know what? I can just imagine the stories he'd have to tell, so I can't imagine me not wanting to hang out with him. Like, really? Imagine, like, you know, and the thing is, he seems like such a nice person. Like, he's calling his mum, dad, even though they don't approve of his job choices. He's keeping them informed. He's trying to explain to them the difference between a psychopath and a professional killer. And obviously, he gets paid, and that is the only difference. Not job satisfaction or anything else. But,
Job satisfaction. If that's what he was in it for, I'd be scared to hang out with him.
Make it more fun. Well.
What did you think of the Meet the Sniper video?
I thought it was very resplendent of sniper character, although I'm very concerned by the amount of Girardi he produced.
Yeah, me too. That video was actually the first time Girardi was shown. It was before Girardi was released as a weapon, and people, they didn't pick up on it at first. It was just like, you know, he's drinking coffee, he's in a sniper nest, and he's, you know, there's these yellow jars filling up, so what? Well, the yellow jars, not only are they filled with that coffee gone through his system, and at an alarming rate, as he said, Girardi was actually released as a weapon.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
You please tell us how it works.
Girardi, well, you throw it at the enemy, if that's not emasculating enough. It also does mini crits every time you hit them. It'll also put out teammates that are on fire, but to be perfectly honest with you, I think I'd rather be on fire than covered in my psychotic Australian friend's piss.
It's just a game. It doesn't matter.
It's just a game, but I'm going to need to shower when I get home. Yeah.
Another thing is, what does it do to cloaked spies, for instance?
Oh, yes. It also makes them visible, I suppose. Trying to think of the right word there.
Yeah.
Well, visible. It makes their outline.
Yeah, it's a bit like the bleed effects the Southern Hospitality does, but even more clear. So when you throw Girardi and it hits a cloaked spy, they start dripping yellow drops of...
yes,
urine.
I'm sorry. It's been quite a long time since I've had the pleasure of throwing my urine at someone.
That's okay, we'll play sometime.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be a quote of the day.
Yeah,
Thrown at you.
basically, the spy, if they're invisible, they show up with a yellow outline and drips coming off them. And I'm not sure if this happens when they're cloaked, but they also have Girardi-specific voice lines. Which, yeah.
Well, you've got to love a game that's got that, specific lines of when, urine has been thrown upon you.
Do you remember the first time that you saw Girardi in action, or used it, or had it used against you?
The first time I used it was actually a time it dropped for me. I think it was about a few days after the update. I hadn't seen it that often, and thought, oh yeah, this is something new and interesting. And well, I thought that the character had a bit of a strong arm, and I threw it at a scout. This is on 2-4, by the way. I was on one of the sniper perches, and there was a scout on the bridge. I managed to nail him perfectly, just as a heavy came around the corner and lit him up. So I got to hear the tick sound effect as about 1,000 minigun shots blasted him into the river. It was glorious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a theory that everyone remembers the first time they saw Girardi being used. And my first time was in, I think the map is Badwater Basin. I was playing as Pyro, and a sniper got me with his urine.
Yes. And you got yellow screened.
Yeah, but at the time, I didn't know what Girardi was. I mean, I knew what it did, but I didn't realize that it was urine in a jar.
You saw this is a strange yellow liquid that's been thrown at me.
Yeah, like, I'd been playing the game for about a year. I didn't realize until I was researching for an article on the Dayton's Buff, the blog we associate with. This article is basically about why you shouldn't play Sniper until you've like mastered the basic classes first, Soldier and Scout and so on. And at the end I put a little comment, by the way, Girardi looks like piss to me. And then I looked on the wiki, and it is piss!
Oh! Well, don't I feel like a fool now?
By the way, we are allowed to say that. Nami and I made an agreement that regarding possible swear words, that we were allowed to use any words that were used in the game lines. So that includes crap and meld, which the spy sometimes says. We're still debating the use of the W word though, which Sniper is quite fond of.
Well, it's not quite used in Australia, so, well, I'll veto that.
Yeah, I think it's actually a New Zealand thing. They get it right.
Getting our cultures all mixed up, aren't ya?
Yeah, I swear they've done that as well, because, like with some other lines. Because one of the soldiers' domination lines is, "Dominated you, Bilbo Baggins." It's obviously a reference to The Hobbit, which was filmed in New Zealand, not Australia, as some people seem to think.
Yeah, well, our countries are pretty interchangeable.
Really?
Well, yeah, apart from the fact they're totally not, but, semantics.
They're just vaguely close to each other.
Yeah, just kind of close to one another, no big deal.
About 2 time zones apart.
Yeah. Actually, it's, 9/11 where you are right now?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
we're exactly...
7.
We are 2 time zones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Righty, more questions, sir?
Oh, of course. Right, I forgot what we were doing for a moment. Okay, so the weapons of the sniper. You already mentioned, what did you call it? The Rage Quitter?
Yes, the Rage Quitter.
Yes,
My
rifle.
baby.
Okay. Do you prefer that over, say, the Huntsman, which is a bow?
Absolutely.
Why?
Well, like I said, I'm not particularly good at leading my shots, and, well, I prefer something where, I can put a dot to someone's head and go, boom, he's dead. As opposed to having to manually pull out the bow, shoot, and hope that the target doesn't move too much. But it is good if you want to be offensive, I'll give it that. I've managed to charge an enemy base with a bow and arrow and score a couple of kills.
Yeah. These days when I'm on offense, I tend to play a Huntsman Sniper, and when I'm on defense, I go as Engineer. do you think that the scope on the rifle is limiting in terms of what you can see? Like, one of the reasons I prefer the Huntsman is because I can still see what's going on, even while I'm aiming.
Well, that's sort of the point of a sniper rifle, isn't it? Impedes your view a bit, but then again, you get what, 3.4 time magnification.
Yeah. Okay. True. But you know, what if a pyro's coming up from just out of your sight while you're scoped in?
Well, that's really on the sniper, I guess, to always be aware of your surroundings. You've got to always be looking, always be aware, because, you know, you're not just watching your team's back by sniping, you've also got to be watching your back for any potential spies, pyros, or, well, anyone that happens to come after you.
Okay then. Do you have a favorite sniper weapon apart from that rifle?
The Machina.
Okay. Could you please explain how the Machina works?
Well, the Machina works like a sniper rifle, to tell you the truth. How would I best put this? It does 15% more damage on headshots, which is good, but truthfully, I'm a body shot sniper most of the time. Don't judge me, I'm actually good, I swear. The reason I like it is, well, it's a challenge. The enemy gets to find out where you are, and I like the name, honestly. It's really not a thing, but Machina is Latin for machine, and it comes from Deus Ex Machina, which is God out of the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a term used, and this was used in ancient Rome, I think, used to describe a convenient plot device that appears out of nowhere. And
okay.
That's perfect. That's really the best way to describe it. It is a weapon that came out of nowhere, saved the day. Well, whenever I use it, of course. But it's absolutely good. It is one of my favorite guns. Like, to use for any class. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. We've already talked about Durati a little bit. That's a secondary weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your preferred secondary weapon? Or tool?
I prefer tool. Well, honestly, I'm gonna say, well, I'll preface this by saying I don't particularly enjoy watching my backs, and my situational awareness is about as effective as you'd expect.
So you use the Razorback?
I use the Razorback.
Aha!
And, well, the Razorback works in a pretty simple way. A spy comes up behind you and stabs you, it jams his knife for a moment, and then you get to turn around and stab him with your knife, or kukri, or, well, whatever you happen to have to smack him with.
Yeah, it could be a frying pan.
Yeah, I have a frying pan. They're great fun to smack people with.
Yeah. And then,
But,
I was just reading up on this. There's something similar to the Razorback called the Darwin's Danger Shield, but it doesn't seem as effective to me.
The Darwin's Danger Shield.
It's like a crocodile skin stretched over a wooden ring of some kind.
Sincerely, I hate this thing.
I thought you might, because its stats look
a tad
great.
overpowered. I can't snap, crack, and kill. That's extremely annoying. So if I'm having a sniper with someone and Chuckles decides that he's had enough of me one shot dinking him in the head, he can say, yeah, I've had enough of that, don his Darwin's Danger Shield, and be protected from a fully charged body shot or an uncharged headshot. So, you know, me, normally, being dodgy. It does have a trade-off, but really, if you're in a sniper war, you don't particularly care about explosive sources like rockets or sticky bombs or grenades.
Okay, you mentioned the kukri there. So,
Yes.
melee weapons. Which one do you prefer?
I honestly prefer the, good gosh, I can't think of its name. The Tribleman Shiv, because I just like a weapon that makes people bleed.
Yes? Yeah, bleeding weapons are always good.
Yeah. In my experience, it seems to have a very high crit rate. Maybe it's because I don't use it that often, and balanced probability means I've just had a lot of good luck. But I enjoy one-shot killing spies whenever they come up behind me.
Yeah, it's good. The Southern Hospitality is like that as well.
Southern Hospitality, that's a...
It's a wrench for the engineer.
Wrench, yes.
Yeah. It's called a spike wrench in the SFM files. It's really cool looking.
Oh, cool. I've never had the pleasure of using it, to tell you the truth. But
Oh,
then
I have
again,
a spare
I'm
one.
not a big engineer fan.
I could give it to you.
No, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's the only wrench I use.
Yeah, so in that case, you can keep it, sir.
No, but I've got a spare one.
Fine, perhaps I shall use it one day.
You don't have to give me anything. Just take the damn thing, because I won't be using it.
Certainly, with pleasure.
Actually, I think I have 2 spares.
I'll take both.
Anyway, back to Sniper.
Back to Sniper.
Before we move on from weapons, I just want to ask you one thing. What do you think of his default SMG?
I like it a lot, but I prefer the cleaner's carbine.
Okay.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the cleaner's carbine is worse in almost every way, but when you actually kill someone with it, you get a mini crits for 8 seconds. So, and mini crits with all weapons, so you could kill someone with the cleaner's carbine, snap someone up, shoot them in the face.
Boom. Your kukri or bushwhacker or whatever knife you've got.
Yeah, and light it up.
Yeah.
That is your favorite weapon now. Enjoy. And incidentally, it actually uses the same sound as the M4A1 carbine from Counter-Strike Source.
That is true. Yeah, the reason we've got Thunder is he has quite a good knowledge of guns.
Yeah, basically, if you ever need anyone to, describe literally any Soviet bloc AK-47 and the differences between them, give me a shout. And I really like M4 variants, don't judge me. But back to Team Fortress 2.
Yeah. The reason I asked about the SMG is, just the general opinion is that it's useless, I find.
Well, you're at range most of the time, to tell you the truth, so... Oh, it's gonna be useless at range, because you've got a sniper rifle. But, if you're backing up, it's a good weapon to have if you don't really want to take it someone head-on with your knife.
Yeah. I find it's really good against pyros, in general.
Yeah, well, that's one of the few classes you'd always advocate it with, because, they've got, a weapon with a very limited range.
Yeah. Well, I say that, but, it's good to have your team around,
Oh, absolutely. It's a team game. If you're playing it solo, which is unfortunately the sniper's job, you're gonna struggle a bit.
Yeah. Piece of trivia, which Thunder can back me up on. In real life, snipers never work alone, they always have a partner with them, with a machine gun. Is that right? Just in case someone sneaks up on them.
I'm not sure if it's specifically with a machine gun, but I believe snipers do work in pairs. It's a sniper spotter. I know at least it's how the United States Marines do it.
Yep.
Yeah, basically if you're a sniper, you're a tough cookie. Because I've actually had a look at some sniper selection courses. And the Australian Defence Force 1, you've got to conceal yourself in a field for 24 hours, and you've got to hit 3 targets, which will pop up at any time during the 24 hours. And there is also potentially going to be a battalion full of soldiers who will get extra rations or something if they happen to bring you in. So,
That's
people
crazy.
motivated to hunt you down.
That's the army for you. In Australia.
Everything's trying to kill you, even during exercises.
Yeah. Alright, fun trivia for the day.
Trivia for the day. Guns.
Alright, I think we've talked about his weapons enough. Yeah, so, back to the subject of newer players going to Sniper. What we found is that new players who download Team Fortress 2, which is free by the way, from Steam, which is also free, so get to it.
No excuses.
I always say that at the end.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. what we found is that people, they look on the class selection menu for the first time. They're like, soldier, got a rocket launcher, yeah, it could be fun, but I don't know.
That has sniper rifle, I go for that.
Yes, they get to the end, and there are two choices, sniper and spy. We're gonna talk about spy in a later episode. A disproportionate number of new people. Thunder used to be one of these. I was never one of these. Medic always told me to avoid sniper. But they go for sniper, they take out their rifle, and they shoot through glass, they fall into ledges, they stay scoped in for as long as possible and don't notice scouts sneaking up on them.
And they stand still.
Yeah. So, for these
Amateurs.
players, Thunder,
Well,
the future of free-to-play is in your hands.
jeez,
Can
should
you
have given it to
please-
someone else, mate.
Please give them some advice so that they don't get it wrong.
Well, all you really need to hear about is what our lovely host Tom or Dekky has said.
Steve.
Or Steve. Okay, Tom, Dekky, Steve.
Lots of people
Or
call me Steve for no reason.
alrighty, or one of your 1001 names. Remember what he has said. Remember how he has described how new players play, and well, don't play like that. Basically, pardon me, it is your job to shoot things, and you are a target because you are dangerous. If you scope in, you've got an instant 100 health down on any class. The only class that can really come back from that would be the, I believe it's the heavy, with 300 health or 350, depending on what secondary you've got. And to that end, I'd recommend that all you do is, well, learn by doing. And by that I mean, watch how other snipers play. If they've got a lot of blingy gear, they're usually good ones to look forward to. But, simultaneously, be wary. For children play this game, and children are often armed with their mother's credit cards.
And apart from that, you know, just the basics. Glass in TF2 does not shatter under any circumstances, in any map, so don't try to shoot through it.
Cowards, try it. I dare
And
you.
when you're a sniper, do move around. You know, you're gonna have to dodge a rocket at some point, or, you know, a pipe bomb from a demo man. So do move a bit. And don't be afraid to go looking for health or ammo if you need it. However, don't keep calling for a medic, because... am I right in thinking snipers aren't priority cases for medics?
Oh, absolutely. You might get a medic with his mate, the sniper just sitting around. Just sitting around, you know, letting the sniper get some points. But most of the time, you know, just go heal a heavy dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. And the reason for that is snipers are a support class. And this is another thing people don't seem to understand when they're newer. Sniper is not meant to be with the rest of his team. He does act for the team, but he's not actually, you know, in a payload map, he's not on top of the cart trying to headshot people. Trying to headshot the engineer is right in front of him. He's up in a tower somewhere really high, somewhere far away, where he can use his rifle to its fullest advantage. And in those sorts of places, medics aren't going to waste time trying to climb up to him when they've got 8 other people they need to be healing on the ground.
Exactly. You see, you should listen to Tom, Dekky, Steve, whatever personality he has at the time, and because he knows his stuff. He is intelligent.
I'm just
Well,
copying
Steve is
stuff from the article I wrote for Spuff.
Well, trust the script he's sticking to anyway. Trust the words he has written down, and remember, this is all totally casually spoken and not pre-planned in any way.
Yeah. I actually had one person criticize me for not having a script, but it's like, scripts make, like, you know, it's called spontaneous humor what we do, If we had a script, this podcast would be nowhere near as interesting. We'd just be like reciting wiki pages, basically. That's what it would come down to.
Look, I had a lecture a couple of weeks ago on the Manhattan Project, and unfortunately that person was on script too much. So, like, he could have easily gone off, you know, had a bit of fun with it, but
Yeah.
he didn't.
I like lecturers who just tell stories and don't read off a PowerPoint or anything.
Yeah, well, we had ours read off of PowerPoint, but in fairness to the Manhattan Project, you can't really get all the facts right off the top of your head.
Yeah, true.
Yes. More questions, I'd live for the question.
Where were we?
You just finished asking me about what I would tell new players.
Well, do you have anything else that you would tell them?
Yes, crouching makes you an even bigger. It is. I'm trying to think of the scientific way of putting it, but basically, you become a bigger target because you're more noticeable. A standing sniper, yeah, that's pretty normal. A crouching, crab walking sniper, yeah, I'm gonna look at you a bit more funny. And of course, if you're fighting someone with a body shot, they've got better odds of hitting you in the head. If you know, ducking, running, weaving, you know, just like that, go for it. Fight to stay alive.
Yes.
Fight, because you are the future.
And your team needs
You, Steve. You, Robert. It is up to you to do this properly.
And girls too. Girls can be snipers too.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. And Angelina and Sophie and Madison and
Nomi. Nomi's a great huntsman sniper. I've played with her a few times.
And Nomi. I would tip my heads to that, you, milady, but
But when the
I'm
sniper
absolutely
does that,
joking.
it's a taunt after killing someone.
yeah, it's basically after I've shot you in the head.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
anything else, good sir?
I'm just looking through that article I wrote. I'll post a link to it in the video description. Basically what I said was, don't play sniper until you've mastered the other classes. Would you agree with that? Like, is sniper someone where you need to nail the other classes before you move on to him, or, you know, are you better off just starting as sniper and working your way up? I mean,
Well, I suppose what sort of person you are, really. I started as a heavy, so let that tell you about my type personality. I just
started
went.
as a heavy too. I still switch to heavy when things are going wrong.
Yeah, just because you know it's easy to get 1,000 bullets down range.
Yeah,
But
just
anyway,
switch to him, mow down the entire enemy team, and we're sorted. You know, go
yeah.
back
Well,
to
see, it's exactly
building
it.
sentries.
The jokes I can make.
That's what heavy's for.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
backup plan.
Yes, you are my backup plan, sir. And
Nice.
honestly, I'd say you can just go sniper if you want to have a play with it, but go into it with the mind that you are going to try it. You're not going to excel. You're not going to kick everyone's ass, because hate to break this to you, but unless you're, you know, a future Team Fortress 2 championship player, you're going to be making millions of dollars off the game. Just don't.
And even in that case, like, you're not gonna dominate the entire team on your first go as sniper. You just won't.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you will
'Cause,
die a lot.
Yeah, because you are still learning. Doesn't matter where you are, you're always still learning. And much like if you're the smartest person in the room, if you're the best player on the server, you need to find a new server.
Yeah. So like I said, find somewhere secluded to where you can actually shoot people from, but they won't be able to see you. So don't hang around with the rest of your team. Don't try and capture points all by yourself. Don't follow the payload cart. Don't. Oh, that's where I was going. Man versus machine.
Man versus machine.
I've seen
Honestly, there we go.
You go.
I was just gonna say I haven't got much experience with it, to tell you the truth. I tried it a bit, but honestly, the only servers I could find were American ones, so let that tell you how new it was when I started. But yeah, I enjoyed it while I played it, but I always went heavy.
It's actually almost 2 years to the day since MVM was released.
Good God, I'm getting old.
I was still in high school then.
And I am still in high school. Get me out of here.
Yeah, in MVM, which we're gonna talk about in a future episode, not us two, Snowman's gonna do it. Yeah, I've seen a video on YouTube, I can't remember who did it, but it was like a top tier list, where they separated the 9 classes into top, middle, and bottom tiers. The middle tier had 5 classes, the bottom tier had 1, and that was Sniper. That means that they deemed Sniper to be the least useful class, or most useless depending on how you look at it, in the MVM mode.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah.
You're fighting bots. If you're fighting players, it'd be a bit better, because players are erratic, but an erratic thing is a lot better for a sniper than a programmed bot going a certain direction with weird hitboxes.
Especially when there are so many bots. Most of them
Pretty much,
scouts.
yeah.
But why do you say that an erratic player is better for a sniper?
Because I think as a player you get used to people being crazy and having really stupid things. So it's a bit off-putting if you've got people going in such a robotic fashion. And well, you are fighting robots, so it's appropriate. But yeah. It's very difficult to explain, but just try sniping a bot versus sniping a player. You will see a discernible difference.
Yeah. Just practice is what he's saying.
Yeah, that.
Practice and you'll get there. And that is the key message for TF2 Sniper.
Sorry, say again?
That is the key message for the Sniper in Team Fortress 2.
Indeed it is.
Was my headset not
Practice?
working?
Practice? No. Oh no, sorry, I zoned out for a second. Yes,
snipers are not supposed to do.
Yeah, sniper, zone out for a second and boom, that's you gone.
Well,
so don't do what I do.
Yeah.
Never be like me.
But apart from that, Thunder's a pretty good sniper, which is why we got him on the show. Alright, I think that's all we've got time for at the moment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on here, sir.
That's alright, thanks for coming on. Yeah. Now we do have some news, but we're going to talk about that in a separate video. Part of it covers why I'm interviewing him by myself and why I don't have Nomi or Medic here to help out.
Nomi, Medic.
More on that in the news video, which is coming up very soon.
See you people, have a good day, or night, or, well, whatever you really are, wherever you really are. From Wisconsin to LA, from Darwin to Victoria, and I don't know, from China to the
Antarctica to Norway.
Yeah,
and everywhere in between.
How about from here to the end of the universe? Wherever you are, whatever species you are watching this, may you sleep well tonight, or tomorrow, or sometime in the next week.
Or yesterday. I hope you slept well yesterday.
Yeah.
Not that you can change it now.
Incidentally, believe it or not, we're doing a Back to the Future thing for our mock-up week.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll discuss that off video.
Yeah.
Have a lovely one, everyone here. Good night.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the PhlogistiCast. This has been the Sniper interview, and remember, Team Fortress 2 is a free download from Steam, which is itself a free download. It's all free.
Buy it! Buy it! You have no excuses.
Word is download. Download it and buy lots of hats.
Hats.
No, don't. If you're invested in weapons, you're better off. Hats do nothing.
Yeah. But they look cool.
Alright, that'll do. See you later.
See you, gents and ladies.